I don't really talk about my acting a lot, but like Jen has been, this is how old I am. A lot of my acting is on VHS. Please, I didn't even get any laughs from the young people. They don't even know what VHS is. Jesus, okay, VHS is a tape of it. Okay, anyway, so I've been going through, like, I've been Maria Kondoing my, like, the downstairs part. Like, well, I don't know, I have my, like, because Maria Kondoing is also contributing to the plastic waste. See, it's very complicated. I'd better just keep my plastic waste in my own house, and then when I pass, like, we'll deal with it then. I don't know. So anyway, somehow those tapes hopefully will be recycled. So I was going through them and I was like, I should digitalize them, right? And so I have been, and I was looking at, I posted a couple of them that to me were really funny or whatever. And it's just been bringing back memories of when I first moved to LA and I was working. And I think I just want to share this story because I'm always talking about being. And sometimes maybe I think people understand what being is in relation to doing, but maybe we don't. And it's really subtle, but this is maybe a great example of the distrust we have that we're enough, that we're interesting, that somebody can see who you are and you're right for a role or is interested in this sort of je ne sais quoi, something that you have. You don't have anything more than anybody else. Your thing is your thing. Her thing is her thing. His thing is his thing. What we have to do is allow it. What we have to do is try to remove all the impediments that keep us from being it. But instead in acting, we're taught to do, to show, to act, to play ideas, to construct. So anyway, so I was in this workshop and a guest director worked with us and he was really kind of well known at that time. I can say who it is, it doesn't matter. It's Griffin Dunn, okay? So some of you may not know who he is. But at the time, he was directing this movie called Practical Magic. I've since not ever seen it because I was so angry about it, but not really bitter. But like, it was one of Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock's first movies, and they did it together. So this is in the like early 2000s. So he saw my work, and then like the next week, see these things do happen. He called me. I didn't even have an agent. My number was written so huge on the resume. You can call me, voicemail, 323, right? It was so crazy. So he called me, or his casting said, you know, Griffin wants to see you for a role in this new movie we're doing. It was at Paramount. So for Practical Magic. So at the time, I don't know if it was cast yet, or maybe Nicole Kidman was attached or whatever. I think they were. And so of course I was like, oh my God. Okay, so I read the sides, and one of the scenes, I can't quite remember, but I feel like it was to play Sandra Bullock's boyfriend. I know, believe me, I know. I was going to play Sandra Bullock's boyfriend, and maybe a lot of that had to do with my own distrust about reading straight. Can I play straight? But obviously, here's a straight director who saw me doing a straight scene, so I don't know why I didn't just be who I was. And in the scene, I remember it. Did anybody see that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, but the scene I remember is they're having a spa day. And there was something about, when you put on a face mask, like facial, right? Okay, so those were the scenes. I prepared them, I went in, I was super excited to see Griffin again. We talked, and then he's like, do you have any questions? And I was like, no. And he's like, okay, let's do the first scene. I was like, okay, wait. So just before I was to just do the scene, I got into my bag of tricks. You know those things, actors, bag of tricks. And I had this like oatmeal avocado facial cream. And I took off my glasses and I smeared it all over to just make me stand out and be more of that character wearing a facial. I know. So my point is I didn't have to do any of that. Now that may seem like such an obvious thing for you guys who study here, or maybe to anybody who's probably everybody's like, what? How crazy! But it's an example of how we distrust that me just reading opposite another person in the situation at hand he would have seen what he needs to see for me being a match to that role. Instead, it was about me controlling or feeling insecure and trying to compensate. This little insecure person that I was. And not trusting that my own talent was what brought me there to that place to begin with. Does that make sense, kids?
Yes.
So yes, we have to make effort in the energy that is required in acting. But that is really about fulfilling a situation, sort of the conflict that a situation brings up, but not having to do anything. And it's a very fine line, but I always want to just find different distinctions so we understand what that means. If I'm talking about just being, you just have to be more. You don't have to do, you don't have to show me, you don't have to illustrate, you don't have to play. Ideas. Make sense? Okay. Oh, just a PS of that story. After I did that scene, he went...